Hello and welcome to the Nerdic Gods podcast, episode 59. I think. Yeah, 59. I am your host, Daniel. No Connor. Again, sorry about that. Not really. I have Sims here with me.
I'm muted. I'm muted, so I'm going to say that again. Story time for Steve. So, I work in the kitchen, and there's me and another gentleman. And this other gentleman does own a PS5. So I turn around to him because has a PlayStation. He was okay. I've been playing that zombie game. He was like Daisy Gone, and I looked at him, and then I was like, yeah, and then that was it. It was just I was just like, you ruined this conversation. Daisy Gone.
That's how much people care about that.
No,
and the
let's not do this about the game, right? Yeah. This is about this man.
Let me introduce our guest, Sims. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Honestly, I want to get this off my chest so bad all day.
Nobody cares.
No, you go ahead, man. That was great.
And our guest today is Rahul. Rahul,
what up?
I love your Twitch handle. It is twitch.tv/Rahulahoop. That's a great name. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Rahul.
So, oh man, I wasn't expecting this, but basically, I've been a gamer for ages. First console was a PS1, and just sort of took it up as a hobby. And basically, I decided to make it part of my career. So I'm actually a video game. Well, I'm a lawyer that specializes on the games and video games and esports industry. So that entails like doing everything from like developer publishing contracts, voiceover contracts, any like helping with like intellectual property things, getting a game protected, helping with financing, all that kind of good stuff. And then on the esports side, it's a lot of player team related things, helping with sponsorship deals, like media licensing, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I don't want to go on too long.
What is your favorite
legal stuff? My favorite game. I guess. So my favorite franchise is the Monster Hunter franchise. And I guess within that franchise, my favorite game would probably be Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PSP. That one was... So technically my second Monster Hunter game. So I played Monster Hunter Freedom 2. And then Unite was like the kind of complete edition of the game. It added like a whole new difficulty level and a bunch of new quests and monsters. And that was the one that really hooked me in. Like, I was like, all right, I'm a fan for life. Like, I'm done. You got me, Monster Hunter. You got me, Capcom. Take my money forever. Like, you got a fan for life. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a franchise that I've never played. I've owned a bunch of handhelds. I just never played them.
Well, if you ever fancy it, hit me up. We'll squad up sometime. There might be a good opportunity coming up very soon, as in tomorrow, when the new Monster Hunter comes out.
I guess I lied. I played like a world for like 30 minutes. Like no, it just didn't click. But let's continue with Monster Hunter. We're going to go into the news. Let's just do a little review roundup here on Metacritic.
Right, let's do it.
Yeah. Let me try to open this up real quick. Let's see. Right now, it's sitting at an 87.
I'm happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that.
Pretty good. It's 67 critics. That's a lot already. So a lot of people have already reviewed it. Let's see here. Where's this?
When I looked at it, because I've not really paid too much attention to it, because it being on the Switch, I kind of think, well, it's not going to be as good as World. But then looking at it, I'm sorry. I am very small-minded. But no, looking at it, it just looks like Monster Hunter World on the Switch. Like, it looks just as good. And now, I want to buy it. I want to buy it tomorrow. I'd happily buy it. I just don't have the time. I'm so behind on games.
Yeah. That's totally fair. I mean, I think, graphically, it's not going to look as good as World, because that's just the way it is. But to be honest, like, I think World is a good way to introduce people to the franchise. And then if you want to kind of experience more, hopefully, like, if you can get over the graphics, I think you'll have a great time with Rise. Like, there's a lot of different stuff that they've done, new mechanics. So, yeah, I'd definitely give it a shot. But yeah, if you're not day one, that's totally fine. Like, you know, if you go on Twitch and look at the previous Monster Hunter game on Switch, Generations Ultimate, still got a considerable community. You know, there's never a bad time to jump into Monster Hunter. And whenever you do, I'll be here to guide you through it.
I'd love to pick it up. I probably will pick it up. It just looks like exactly. It doesn't even look intimidating. It doesn't look drastically different from World. Like it looks like something. When I saw it the other day, it looks something I'm familiar with. And like as long as the insect lays there, I'm game.
Oh yeah, insect lays definitely there. Hell yeah.
I got a few like new mechanics and stuff from what I've seen in the trailers. My biggest like question and worry is the online like grouping up people, because it is only on the Switch. It's not on Xbox and PS4. Switch just doesn't have as good of an online. So I'm wondering like how good is that going to be for people that want to team up and
I mean, here's the thing. I've been playing the previous Switch game, Generations Ultimate, which was again only on Switch. The online works fine. Like there's no lag. Everything just works. There's no like crazy awesome features, but if it's literally like you want to get a group of your friends together or hunt with some people online, it just works. It's pretty clean. Like there's no issues with it. So I'm not too worried about that for this. And again, the community is quite big. I feel like it's quite a niche community, but whoever's there, like they're quite hardcore. Like the community will stick around with this game for a long time. So hopefully if you pick it up a year later, it's not like you'll find empty servers or empty rooms. So
is it something that has worried you though? Going into tomorrow?
No, not at all. I mean, the thing is, that's the thing. I guess because I've been playing the games for such a long time, I also have like a regular group of hunting buddies that, you know, and part of me also feels like I'll probably kind of be done with the game within a year. Like, I don't know how long I'll keep playing it. It depends how much content there is and what there is to do. You know, I might have phases where I pick it up again and play it for a while. But again, I agree with what you said, man. There's so many games coming out. I'm behind on so many games. So like I will definitely play this like pretty intensively for the next 3 to 4 months. And then I might drop off for a bit, pick it back up again. But ultimately I feel like if you want to play with people, there are always people around.
Yeah, I'm sure there's LFG groups, Discords, Reddit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can find somebody. Did you know how many people it takes to play co-op or multiplayer?
You can play with one other person, maximum 3 other people.
It was be a segue. It takes 2.
Oh, I just absolutely screwed that up. All right, take 2.
I saved it. Take 2. Do you know how many people it takes to play multiplayer? It takes 2. It takes 2 has another. We'll do another little review roundup here. It is sitting at 90 on Metacritic.
Insane.
I think it is the highest reviewed games right now this year, which is awesome. It's unexpected. Wow.
Has it gone back up there?
It's with 27 critics. It's not as many as Monster Hunter, so I think people are still reviewing the game. It might fluctuate, but it's going to sit at high 80s at least. I think Open Critic like 88 or 87.
It's insane. Like the reviews this game has got absolutely insane. I expected 8s, like 7s and 8s. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. When we saw the trailer for this game, I can't remember where we saw it. It might have been like a direct or a state of play or something like that. Or was it the Xbox thing? I can't remember.
I think it was Xbox.
Was it Game Awards?
Maybe it was
Game Keighley and like Jason Ferret.
Yeah.
Always had that thing. I think it was.
Oh, maybe.
So obviously Keighley was making. You couldn't see the next big thing from Jason. What's his name?
Joseph Fares.
Joseph Fares.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm with you. When I saw that trailer, I was just like, "Oof!" Like, I don't know what. I don't know what I'm looking at right now.
I can't wait. Yeah. No, I honestly though, at first I was not bothered. I was like, I expected like a Way Out 2 or something on that gritty lines of like more drama, because that game was so good. Like me and Natalie like loved it. Like made Natalie cry at the end. And I was like, turned around, I was like, "What are you crying for?" She's like, "You're just so emotional." I was like, "Oh, fair enough." Like I respect that. But no, I can't wait. Like tomorrow, like I'm gonna get work out of the way, come straight back. It takes 2. Baby. I love it. Can't wait. I'm really excited.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, me and Connor are going to play this weekend. That's going to be our game. It'll be the first game I play co-op with one of you guys. Really. Which would be pretty
Me and Natalie are on about maybe like recording, because you can record through the PlayStation and then put it on a stick, bring it upstairs, put it on the PC, and then maybe doing something. Because Natalie wants to look at on the editing side of things. So,
yeah.
So maybe we can get something out with it, because like it's gonna be interesting. Like me and Natalie gotta have so many arguments.
Yeah, it's a co-op game. You got to work together.
Like dead frustrating as well. Like, and it would be me that like complete dum dum. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I just don't understand these things." So,
yeah, I think we're all. Are you going to play it, Rahul? Are you actually going to like check?
I would like to. I guess I just need to. So I haven't played A Way Out yet. I am planning on playing that at some point. I do have a buddy. Shout out to Mr. Mac92 who said he would play with me at some point, because I totally missed it when it came out. I didn't have anyone to play with when it did come out. So yeah, if I play that and I like it, then yeah, I'll definitely pick this up within like a month or two, probably.
Yeah, it might go down a little bit.
Yeah, but again, Monster Hunter is all that's on my plate for the next month. Basically, I'm dedicating all my gaming time to that, I think.
Sims, do we know the price of this game? Because I'm going to do that multiplayer thing with Connor, so I'm not going to be able to, I don't have to pay for it.
I looked at it. I looked at it 2 nights ago. £35. So
okay, so it's probably $40.
$40 for you guys, yeah.
Which is not bad.
Plus
that's
the
not
2
even
hours extra like time zone, so probably 50. Because the world is a crazy world.
It is. The world is crazy. Yeah, so I guess let's move on. Let's go to this story. This is a weird one. So Sony is teamed up with some other corporation. I don't remember who it is.
RTS. They're like an esports venture.
To buy Evo, which is very interesting.
Did you have something to do with this? I feel like I just feel like they contacted you. Like, listen, we need to sort this out. And you're like, I got my people to contact your people.
Yeah, obviously, I can't really talk too much about it.
I thought not. I was looking at this. I was like, maybe you can't speak about it.
No, I didn't. I didn't have this one.
Weird. I feel like listen to like obviously we listen to a lot of podcasts, and no, sorry, I'm so sorry. Natalie texted me. She was like on about my sound.
I literally thought you froze.
No,
so still.
So everyone, well, I saw these podcasts all about we don't understand this Evo thing. Maybe Evo contacted Sony and says, "Look, we've got this really bad reputation at the moment. You know, how much are you willing to offer for this?" And obviously Sony was in the market. I feel like it's 50-50. We don't know a figure for this, how much they bought it for. Like everyone's like,
these type of deals, it takes a while too. So they've been in the works for a while of buying it.
I feel like it was either this or Evo was going to go away. I feel like with the people behind it, well, after last year's like shambles.
No, I think with the history of Evo, it being such a fan, it started as a fan thing and then became a bigger organization. I think Evo will always exist in one way or another, but it's just very interesting because I know that PlayStation has really become a hub for fighting games. I know people will play on PS4 at the tournaments and stuff, so this kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's interesting because like the flip side of the coin is like a lot of people said, again, I don't agree with this necessarily, but people said like, was this an acquisition to kind of try and get some news headlines after all the Microsoft stuff that's going on? I was like, I don't think so, but like it's interesting. Like I wonder what the plan is with Evo. Like, how are they literally just, you're coming under the Sony umbrella, but we're just going to let you go and do your own thing, and we just get the paycheck or whatever? Or are Sony planning on like changing things and changing the structure? Like, people are asking, like, are we going to see games like Smash Bros and Killer Instinct, which are Xbox and Nintendo exclusives? Are we going to see those at Evo? Like, is this going to be PlayStation games only or multi-platform games only? It's like, I don't think so. I think that would kind of damage the spirit of what Evolution is, because it'd be weird for the fighting game, because the fighting game community is, console agnostic. They don't care what console it's on. They just like fighting games. So I feel like it would be weird for PlayStation to be like, oh, no more Smash Bros. Like, sorry, that would suck for the community. So
more on Nintendo,
yeah,
if it's going to be there, because like they've already had a rocky go
Yeah,
at with these events and it not having good online and stuff like that. Like, I think it's just more on Nintendo if it's going to be there. But Sony has had fighting game like exclusivity for a little bit. Like a lot of the Arc fighting games, the Guilty Gear, is usually on Sony. It sucks that it's not usually doesn't come to Xbox. Sometimes they do, but not a lot. Like Street Fighter is PC and PlayStation. It never came to Xbox. Maybe the next
Street Fighter 5 never came to Xbox.
No,
Nope.
it was like an exclusive.
It's absurd. It's absurd. It still hasn't. It should.
What? That's crazy to me. I don't know why. I just assumed that it did.
Because it's Street Fighter, should be everywhere. Like everyone loves Street Fighter. Everybody plays Street Fighter, but they have this PC PlayStation deal. So I don't know. Maybe they're just going to kind of lean more into fighting game deals. I don't know.
Do you think these other companies would just stay away from it now? Just like, as a PlayStation thing, we don't want nothing to do.
No, I don't think so.
Do you think Sony? Or, I don't know. Like Sony will run it. Do you think? Same question, really. Like when they do open it to the public, is it going to be a PlayStation branded everything? PlayStation here, PlayStation there. You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think because this is them partnering with an esports company, I think it's not going to have that focus. It's going to be just still Evo, and then the biggest. This is the biggest fighting game event. They're not going to destroy that reputation.
Yeah,
I
think so.
They'll change the name.
Ooh, nah.
Why? Evo's a great name.
It's just got all that bad reputation from last year. Like I'm just like
but that is people. That is really I think the reputation is just against those heads or whatever. It's not against the event itself and that community. You know.
Yeah, the name carries a lot of weight in the community. Even aside from last year's bad stuff, I think generally speaking, everyone knows what Evo is. It's a brand. I mean, that's what they've bought. They've bought the brand. Like that's what the value of Evo is. It's the brand and sort of the good. Well, not again. Aside from last year's stuff, the goodwill and sort of history that comes with that name. That's what they've purchased. Be interesting. I wish I knew how much they purchased it for, but I mean, all that stuff is hush hush. But I would like to know. That would be interesting to know.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't even have a guess. Like,
Me neither.
It's an event. Like, it can't be that much. I assume. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure they still paid a pretty penny for it, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really worth a lot.
just £5 slid across the day.
Yeah, I'm gonna write a number on this piece of paper, slide it over to you.
That's how I think all these deals are done. Like, just like
Uncle Phil coming up like $5.
Uncle Phil just comes in with a big, massive suitcase and just drops it on Bethesda's doorstep and was like,
And then John Howard is just like,
What's up?
yeah, all right, let's do it. Let's go, boy. Let's go.
honestly, that's all the deals should be made. Like none of this lawyer crap. No disrespect. just a handshake and money. Like
You gotta give a shot to Behinds. No?
Of course, I was thinking today. Now, completely changed the subject, but we've touched on something that's triggered something that I think about at work. So I work for a company that got taken. Not really got taken over. I work for a contract catering company, and the contract got bought out by another company. So they came in, and I had the option to leave or work for this new company. So I decided to work for the new company, which was a terrible idea because it ran awful. Everything it just ran awful from day one.
Okay.
Do you think behind the scenes people are unhappy? We'll never know. But like, there's people behind the scenes that just don't like that change. I'm not trying to slander Xbox. People just don't like change. Like people just come in and all the Xbox people are like, they said they're gonna leave them to it. But like, I was thinking like, I didn't like the changes and I didn't like the way it was being managed from day one. And I was there for like 2 months after, and I left. Would do you think this is something that we could see people leaving on maybe in a couple of years' time? Maybe Todd Howard leaves next. Probably won't, 100% won't. But do you think that's something that could happen? Not big names like that, but other names could think, it's not working out under the Xbox umbrella. When I'm not happy, I'm going to leave. Would we see something like that?
I mean, I think I don't know, obviously, but I feel like it's different because all the developers that have been acquired, they've all been under the Bethesda umbrella, which is also like they're all under the ZeniMax umbrella, which is also a massive corporation. So it's not like it's an indie studio that's now being made part of like this global mega giant first party publisher or whatever. So I feel like I'm not sure how different it will be day to day for like the developers. Like I don't think the culture and all that will change too much. And to be honest, the last few years for Bethesda haven't been great. Like, Fallout 76 did not do well. And I just feel like, maybe people are going to be like, oh, like Microsoft's doing great at the moment. Like they're making all the right moves. Like maybe this will be a good step for them. I don't know. Obviously, I guess everyone has to look at their own personal circumstances as well. Like, what does this change mean for them? Does it mean they have to move to another city, or does it mean they're changing offices, or does it mean they're not, their projects are now being changed or cancelled, or, if Microsoft has more creative direction over what they're making and they don't like that because at Bethesda under ZeniMax they used to get more free reign. Those kind of things we'll never know until people start leaving and the stories come out, I guess.
I mean, I just sat there thinking about it today. It was like, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. We've got all these fantastic games on Xbox. Everybody's playing Dishonored now. Praise the Lord. Like, thank God somebody's playing Dishonored. But when you think about the real people involved, like people's like contracts being changed, HRs, like all these meetings I had to had over epoxy catering company. Like, imagine, like, all these people, all these new employees will have to meet their new employer. It's nice on paper, and it's nice to have these big events like we did a couple of weeks ago. But there's real people's, like, lives have been changed, and maybe, hopefully not. Hopefully nothing changes. But they always say, don't worry, nothing's going to change when they come in within 24 hours, they've ripped everything out and put everything in.
Yeah.
I think that nothing is changing.
Hopefully not. Like, I really do.
I'm going to say two things. One, if you look at how they revealed the Xbox thing, it was not Xbox revealing it. It was Bethesda with Xbox there. Like, it was Pete Hines. That was Pete Hines' event. And they had the Xbox manager, community manager, and then another Bethesda one. But then Phil was just there. They would just ask Phil things, or even Todd was there. It was not an Xbox leaning event. It was a Bethesda event.
Of course, yeah.
So like they are like gonna let them be them. And then my second point is Bethesda has always leaned with Xbox. Yeah. With the making of Morrowind on console, like Bethesda would never be the same without them.
So Fallout 3's DLC,
or just even Skyrim.
Remember that?
Skyrim's
DLC. I don't know. Like I just sat there thinking about it today. Like, it's all fun. It's all nice, all being well that you got Uncle Phil, Todd, all the boys. Do you know what I mean? All the big managers, all the big wigs, but the people behind it, like, and I was that person behind it.
Like, I don't think much is changing. How much
you think that, but we don't know.
I mean, ultimately, you don't know because, like, I guess in the short term, nothing's going to change, but in like a year's time, Xbox might be like, oh, we're going to shift some people around. We're going to, like, change a few things here and there. And, like, you just never know. Like, I'm not
necessarily saying it is a bad thing. Like, I'm not necessarily slating it. This isn't this is me going, this is a terrible, terrible thing. I just think of people behind it. You know what I mean? Like Belinda on reception. Or do you know what I mean? Like, hopefully her role doesn't change, and they don't come in with these new rules and like, oh, you can't wear them shoes anymore. You got to wear these shoes because it's not Xbox way. I'm overthinking it.
I mean, yeah, that is.
I am overthinking it, but it happened to me, and honestly, it was like I had to leave a building, a place of work that I really enjoyed working, but I just didn't enjoy the management side of things. Anyway, massive tangent. This is a fantastic deal, and fingers crossed, everything I just said not happening.
I don't think
it's fine.
I don't think much will change, to be honest.
Fingers crossed, and hopefully not. Fingers crossed. Like, Xbox seemed like a great company, and Xbox are doing all the right things. And hopefully, Uncle Phil comes in, says, "Staff, come here," and he just hooks everyone, masks on, everything. Come here.
I mean, and Uncle Phil, that's gotta feel good, right?
Oh man, imagine Uncle Phil giving you a hug.
I know.
He just spends a year traveling to every studio that they've now acquired and just giving everyone hugs.
That's all he does. That's his job.
Moving on. Sorry, I'm so sorry to take on that one.
No, it's okay.
That's what happens when you cut too many onions.
Let's finish the Sony little leg here. Breaking this morning, Sony is developing a Ghost of Tsushima movie with the director of John.
I'm so sorry. Connor says in the chat, "No, Todd, you can't wear flip flops every day." Oh god. Sorry, Daniel. Please continue.
Ghost of Tsushima movie with the director of John Wick. His name is Chad. I think. I have to look it up.
He's the stuntman director, isn't he?
No, this is the director. His name is Chad Stahelski.
Yeah, he's the stunt. No, he's a stuntman, now a director. I believe that's how.
Yeah,
that's when kind of funny explained it on John Wick.
I think he was a stuntman on The Matrix with Keanu.
Oh, nice.
He became friends with him.
And then he directed John Wick.
So yeah, this is very interesting because he is also directing John Wick 4 and 5 and doing this. Like that's a lot. Like, yeah. What do you guys think about this, Rahul? What do you think?
I mean, sounds cool. I can definitely see it. Like if you take because I guess the cool thing about John Wick was all the. I mean, well, there's loads of cool things about John Wick. Like the world building was awesome and all that. But in terms of the combat, the gun fu, like as they call it, like we're just gonna get that with swords and in a feudal Japan setting. And I mean, or I don't know what we're gonna get, to be honest. But if everyone is like clinging on to the fact it's the director of John Wick, I feel like the combat is gonna take a lot of influence from that. I mean, he might go a completely different style with it, but I'm excited. I mean, I feel like slowly, video game movies are improving. I don't want to say anything too crazy, but I think some of the like recent ones are not. Like, have you guys seen the Mortal Kombat trailer?
Yeah.
That looks dope. I was like, I am watching this as soon as I possibly can. Like, it looks awesome, and I was just like, the Sonic movie did okay. Again, nothing groundbreaking, but it
really enjoyed the Sonic movie. I had a good time. Last time I went to the cinema, all right?
Oh, man. But, I feel like, like getting... what I'd be really interested to see is, like, who's cast for who's going to be... Who are the characters going to be? Who are the actors and actresses playing them? Yeah. Like, that would be really... I feel like that will give me, a strong feeling about how it's all going to be. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. Again, we don't really know anything other than the fact it's happening, so I can't get too excited for it. But yeah, it's cool.
Not stopping with this PlayStation Studios. They're just trucking along, keep announcing stuff.
As we are live, there's a few people popped up in the chat to surprise me. So we've got Kamel. He says wearing flip flops every day is a power play. It's like T-posing, but with your feet. Okay. Nat Nightmare says, hi, everybody. Kamel, I wonder how they'll handle the comic relief. I'm guessing on about...
Genji or whatever his name was? The drunk
guy? Kamel says, hello, Rahul. No, hello. Natalie says, hi, Rahul.
Oh, hey, Nat.
Kamel says, Genji did a great job. Connor says hi again. Kamel said, this has got to stop. Kamel said they'll have to pick a route and go down. Who's going to play the fox? Who's going to play the fox, says Connor. And Kamel says, Ylvis will... I don't know.
Oh, breaking news. Breaking news. It's, Nick Cage is going to be playing the foxes. Breaking news.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's move on.
And moving swiftly on.
We didn't get to talk about the MPDs. I know my MPD partner here is not here right now, so me and Connor love our MPDs.
Okay.
But let me try to find the MPDs. Do you like do you look at the MPDs at all, Rahul?
Sometimes. I mean, I normally look at them, but again, I'm not. I guess I just like to know where they're at, but I don't like overanalyze them, or not over. But I don't analyze them and like sit down and be like, ooh, like what does this mean? Or this is unusual. Like, you know, if something sticks out to me as being unusual, I will be like, huh. But you know, I don't go too crazy with them.
So these are for February. We're a little Black Ops. Yeah, it's actually it is not number one. Number 20. I'll go from 20 on. Number 20 is Immortals. It's dropped a lot. It was. I think it was
that game.
Yeah, it was number 13 in January. So it dropped significantly. So it was probably a pretty big sale. Oh yeah, I think there was a big Ubisoft sale everywhere.
It was like you can pick it up for 35 quid.
Yeah, and then number 19 is Breath of the Wild. Awesome. Keep going. Number 18 is Minecraft PlayStation 4 edition, there must have been a sale because it's very specific to PlayStation 4 version.
Speaking of Minecraft, very quickly, are we getting the ray tracing version on PlayStation? Is that happening? Do we know?
I mean, I don't think it's on console yet. I still think they're working on.
I want the
ray tracing stuff
so bad.
Yeah, those videos are unbelievable.
Natalie's been watching Mr. Jacksepticeye play it and looks amazing what a bit of lighting can do. Just like crazy.
Bit of lighting.
Number 17 is Just Dance 2021. Number 16 is Ring Fit, which took a big drop. It was number 7 in January, so it dropped a lot, but it's still on. Number 15 is 3D Mario 3D All Stars, still there. Number 14 is Mortal Kombat 11. Number 13, Smash Brothers Ultimate. Number 12, NBA 2K21. Number 11, FIFA 21. These sports games. Number 10, Modern Warfare. Unbelievable.
Oof.
That game is still selling. The game is old. Came out in 2019. Number 9 is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 8 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 7 is Valhalla, which dropped a little. It was number 2 during that sale. Number 6 is Little Nightmares 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Little Nightmares.
Yeah, GG's to them. Well played.
Top 10 Little Nightmares. Come on.
We do a lot of clapping on the show. Sorry, Roll.
That's right. No worries.
Then we got number 5 is Madden NFL 21. Don't buy that game.
Right, we're getting to a point where there is a title that I would expect to be here, but as we get close to the top 5, I'm not seeing it. I'm not hearing it, so I hope it's there.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
4 is Spider-Man Miles Morales. Still going pretty strong. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, look.
Quick story. Right, so right.
Story time.
We've got story time. So these toys at nursery, yeah. So I asked the staff. I picked up Miles Morales. I goes, "Who's this?" And she says, "Venom." So I put it down. I left.
Yeah, I quit your job.
I'm done.
Number 3 is another new game. Is Persona 5 Strikers.
Yes, that's the game that I wanted to see up there. GG.
I'm surprised it's that high, though. I kind of would have assumed it would be a little lower, but good job for that game, right?
We own that game.
It's on Switch, PS4, and PC, I think, so that's probably why it's kind of everywhere. It's probably a lot. And number 2 is Black Ops Cold War. Surprising. Something overtook Black Ops Cold War, which I would not have expected. Number 1 is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's.
Oh man, yeah.
Number 1 for.
I'm not too surprised about that, just because the game rated so highly. Like, it's just
2D Mario. 2D Mario
This
always.
was the only biggest release in. This was the biggest release in February, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It did come out in February, didn't it?
Yeah, this is February.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. So those are the NPDs.
No shocking stuff. Like, what would you expect?
No, Little Nightmares is the only shocking thing. It being that high, I did not expect Little Nightmares 2 to be that high.
Do we think Monster Hunter will be next month's one?
Ooh.
It won't be number 1. It will probably be I'm going to guess number 4.
Yeah, I like to think it will be in the top 5. But I mean, I do also know that, okay, so like traditionally it's quite a niche title. So Monster Hunter World has introduced a lot of new players to the franchise. But then a lot of those people will be turned off by the graphics on Switch, and it's like a lot, like you look at some of the Twitter threads and sort of Reddit posts about how people are like, oh, the graphics are like a downgrade. Why have they put this game on Switch? Like blah blah blah. So it's like some people are not going to pick this up for purely that reason. They're just like, I'm going to wait for the next console version. So I hope it will be more popular, but yeah, I'm not sure how high it's going to hit in NPDs.
And some people might just switch,
Kameo says in Japan, the physical version of Monster Hunter is completely sold out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sense. It's handheld. This is something. You know what? We'll just talk about it because it's just something that brought it into my head in the past week. Is I don't even know how I want to put it because I don't want it to sound negative. Is this weird undercurrent of PlayStation really not landing with a lot of people, and it's not just in America. It is in Japan because Nintendo is destroying. Like, PlayStation is kind of moving slowly away from Japan. We keep seeing that Japan studio. They're becoming more European focused and Western American focused. They're selling less and less in Japan. I don't know. It's just something that brought to my head. People loving what Xbox is doing, loving what Nintendo's doing. I mean, Nintendo's always going to do well, but I don't know. Sony just seems to be, or PlayStation specifically, just seems to be stumbling a little bit. It's selling well, but just mindset behind it.
Yeah, I think they've just gone into like cruise control mode where they just, we're all right, and then it will get to a point where Xbox start picking up the pace, and then they'll start like, oh, and they'd be like, I don't know, we can't. It's weird at the moment because like PlayStation not doing much, but Xbox are doing so much, but we won't see the effects of that until when maybe next year. Like we'll see a bit probably at the end of this year.
Probably it's gonna start in the fall, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I'm really excited as well. Like I'm rooting for Xbox. What they've been doing in the past couple of weeks, like adding to Games Pass, and sat there thinking about Games Pass. Like the amount, like my kid the other day, like she was like, we bought her an Xbox Series S, and she was like, we ran out of gold. I had to buy the gold, etc. I was just looking through it, like she was like, wants to pick all the cartoony looking games. Just clicking through it, and I'm just like, I just paid £10 for this. I just paid £10 for a ridiculous amount of games, and it's like, it's crazy. It blows my mind, and she wants to play Hello Neighbor.
That's a fun little franchise.
She goes to the neighbor's house, takes all his furniture, and then goes to the house across the street, and it puts it under the stairs.
Job done. Nailed it.
Yeah, that's just all I wanted to bring up, was just like this weird flow of.
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably started. I mean, because Sony started being run out of the West Coast as opposed to Japan. Like its headquarters moved to the US, and ever since then, I guess maybe there's a bit of a cultural shift and a bit more focus on the West. But
yeah, plus Japan itself loves its portable consoles. They love the 3DS. It lasted for so long. The Switch is now in Japan, and they like that hybrid console, and maybe that mixed in with the PlayStation focusing more on Western, like third-person action games, stuff like that, not necessarily the Japanese side. Like they're kind of like partnering with Square on a lot of stuff, not necessarily in-house Japanese stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just my 2 cents. Let's move on. Sad story. WB is delaying Gotham Knights to 2022. Sad.
I mean, to me, it's sad, but it's like take all the time you need, you know?
Sure. Make it a good game.
Yeah, that's all I really want.
Yeah.
I think that there's so much stuff coming out, and I guess as I'm getting older, I'm having less and less time to play games anyway. So it's like, I guess what I don't want is everything to be delayed to a point where it all comes out at the same time. That's the only thing.
Every week is like a major release. That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot.
Because like for me, it's been quite nicely split up. Like, you know, the last game that I bought was Hitman 3 in January, and now I'm going to buy Monster Hunter. I'm going to have a few months with that, and then my next purchase is going to be Ratchet and Clank. And it's like there's a nice like cadence to it. Like every few months, there's something I'm looking forward to. But yeah, so I'm fine with it being pushed. I mean, when was it supposed to come out originally? Did it just have a 2021 date?
I can take a look. I thought it just had a release date of this year. Not too sure. In the tweet they don't say.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, yeah, it feels. I don't really mind that's being delayed as long as they just, you know, make it the best product that they want to make. I think after all the Cyberpunk stuff, I think a lot of people are probably going to err more on the side of caution and be like, okay, if we need to delay it, we're going to delay it. Like, we're not going to mess about, try and like ship something that's not finished or not done. Like, I think, you know, it's unfortunate how everything went down with CD Projekt, but I guess it demonstrated a very important sort of lesson for all other publishers and devs out there. So I think if they need to delay, do what you got to do.
Yeah, there's always something to play. There's always something to play. We don't need a huge game month or whatever. Like there's so many indie games and something's always coming out to play. Like take your time, make it good. You know, like this is a game that it's going to be really big, pretty much no matter what. Like having the Batman name or logo, not even the name, I guess, but having it be in the Batman universe is huge. You know.
Yeah.
It's the start of many, innit? Like, look at the next. I'm guessing the next story. Things are just getting delayed left and right. Like Imran Khan tweeting out the other day that people are having to wait for people to go on breaks to them to do some work. Like it sounds a lot. We said it last year. We were like, oh, it's COVID this, COVID that. COVID's going to delay everything. COVID's affected everything. Like I feel sorry for the people working at home. Like Avengers. Like when I was talking about Avengers a lot, I was like, you know, this game got severely like slapped all because them having to work from home. It's just affected everything. It's worse than we even thought. Like it was worse than even I could have thought. Like,
well, it's probably going to be worse this year than it was last year. A lot still came out last year.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and obviously with then at the end of it with the nice little like cherry in the top, like of Cyberpunk just absolutely falling. I don't want, like I predicted it. I'm gonna lie. I predicted it.
Oh no, you didn't.
I did. No, I said it was gonna be a bad game. It's a terrible game. No,
I'm not gonna let you get this because you didn't predict. You predicted that it was a bad game, and it's not.
It is a bad game. It doesn't run well.
It's an amazing game. It ran perfectly fine for me. What are you talking about?
On your potatoes.
My potatoes. On my Series X, it ran perfectly well. What are you talking about?
No,
it's not a bad game.
He won't let me have it. I said it'd be a bad game. It's a bad game. Metacritic. IGN gave IGN gave the PlayStation 4 version a 4.
Yeah, but that's because it's an old gen version.
I don't know what I'm pointing at. IGN's here. I've got a backlog. Like if you want to delay games, delay games. It's fine. I've got Valhalla. Like apparently that's long. Really long.
Oh, that is long.
Long.
Like I platinumed Odyssey and it was like 110 hours, and people tell me that Valhalla is longer just for is about the same just for the main campaign. Like if you take your time and play it, maybe not the main campaign, but like if you really like, you know, you don't just blast through the story and you play at your own pace, do a few side quests, try and do some collectibles, some bonus stuff, you could absolutely play like 100 hours for your first playthrough. And yeah, it's just insane.
I really like Burnt Out on Odyssey. Like the one before, I always get a mixed. Origins.
Origins. Yeah,
Origins,
Egypt.
I loved it. So I platinumed that. I had a great time with it. All the little question marks, had a good time. Odyssey, I felt like I played so much, and then I looked and I was like, I've still got loads to do, and I was like, done. I'm done. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I think I would be the same because I missed Origins, so I just picked up Odyssey as that was like my first Assassin's Creed with the new kind of RPG style, like with the leveling up and the loot collection and all that jazz. And I really enjoyed it. So I guess it was just my first one of that style.
Yeah.
And I held off Valhalla because I heard there was a lot of glitches and a lot of bugs in terms of quests not tracking progress properly. And apparently this thing is ridiculous to me. Apparently there are missable collectibles for the platinum. Like you could be playing a 110-hour campaign and there are missable collectibles
tied to like a story mission.
Yeah, like apparently there's a bit where you go to a specific area and you can't go back there afterwards. So if you don't clear all the collectibles there, you have to do another 50 hours to get back there. And because there's no like new game plus, I don't think, so your progress doesn't carry forward. So if you have to do a new game, you have to complete the whole game again and get all the collectibles. And there's like 700 collectibles towards the platinum. And I was just like, that is outrageous. Like, how could you do that? Have missable collectibles?
I do not like getting collectibles. So I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm a good collector.
I love them, but they gotta be fair. Come on now.
Yeah, well, 700 is way too many. Like the Koroxes in Breath of the Wild was like.
It's like 900. Are you kidding me? No. I mean, to be fair, the Koroxes like help expand your like how much you can carry, but like I only need a few.
I don't think I've ever seen Daniel so serious. Like,
yeah,
no, not a chance.
No. But yeah, delay your game as much as you need to. And speaking of delay your game as much as you need to, Back 4 Blood is delayed until October 12th.
Oh, great segue. One delay into another.
I'll be right back. I need to go to the little boy's room. I'm being good.
No, go
3 liters of water apparently helps you lose weight.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, Back 4 Blood. Are you excited for this game?
Here's the thing. I played Left 4 Dead 2 back in the day a little bit. Had a little squad. Well, had my schoolmates that I used to play with. It was fun. Again, at that time, I was like, 14 or 15. I was just... I didn't look at games in the same way. I was just like... I was never critical about them. I just played them because they were fun. And I had a good time with it. Then I moved on to another game and never thought about it again. And now that this is coming out, I was like, yeah, okay. I'll probably play this game. I'm sure there are people I know now who will be playing it as well, so I can have that whole squad experience. I'll check it out. I'm not like super excited for it, but I'll definitely try it.
Yeah, I love Left 4 Dead. It has like more shooter leanings. Like it looks like you can like zoom in and stuff. I didn't get to play the beta that they had. And I think they were doing like a summer beta, or demo or something like that you can play. Well, yeah. I think their release date initially was June. Let me see. In this tweet, I think says it. Yeah, they will share an open beta this summer. So yeah, I think the other beta was a closed beta. I think you had to sign up for it. I assume it'll be probably around the E3 time where they were going to launch it.
Yeah,
that's what I would guess.
That makes sense. But yeah, again, that's cool. Like, I'm in no rush to play it. Like, this is one of those games where I really don't mind when it comes out. When it's out, I'll play it. I'm not edge of my seat waiting for it, which I was for Monster Hunter. So if they had delayed Monster Hunter, I would have just been distraught. I would have been like, no, like, why? I've taken time off and everything. But yeah, this one, I'm like, okay, cool, fine.
They wait to the day of. Yeah.
My goodness.
We're not going to put it out until next year.
They just release a trailer where someone draws over the 2021, just turns that 1 into a 2. Just
no, your heart would just break.
I'm done. Put me into a cryo freezer and wake me up next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get those same days off next year, please. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see what Sims has to say.
Sims, what have you got to say for yourself?
Water.
Water.
What do you think about this Back 4 Blood delay?
I'm a bit upset. I'm not gonna lie, but like, as much as I can sit there and give it the preach of like, yeah, it's gonna happen to all these games, loads of games are gonna get delayed. Still hurts my heart, man.
It's still coming out this year.
It's not. I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Okay.
The game was already so playable. Like,
I don't. Right now, like
October's a long.
Is it? It's March. Yeah. It's April next week. Like, it's my birthday soon.
Oh.
Yeah, just letting you know.
Just dropping that style hint in there.
2nd of May. Pardon?
Releasing right next to my birthday.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to play it with you guys. Like, I'm really excited for it. Like, I genuinely can't wait to play this game. Like, especially, I want us three to play it, and I want to get some content with it. I want to have a good time with it. I really like Left 4 Dead. I remember getting Left 4 Dead, like playing it on a whim, and I went to my friend's house. Oh, let's play this, and they're like, "It's not great." And I was like, "Well, okay." So then I have no other friends. Then I was sad.
Aww.
Now have you guys?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for a zombie game, it's good that it's coming out in October, though. Spooky game, spooky season.
Hopefully nothing goes around it, though. Like, I was thinking, because it was June, wasn't it?
Yeah, June.
And then I was thinking, what, have they moved because of Ratchet? Maybe no. I don't know, because that's not going to eat its lunch, is it?
Here's the thing. I think you can't, a lot of these games, they can't really look at what the release calendar is. Like, they can, but at the end of the day, they're going to release when's best for them. Because, you know, we've seen so many instances where games release on the same day or, you know, within the same week. Like, wasn't it EA who released? I mean, EA is probably a different story, but they released like 2 Battlefield and Titanfall within the same week.
In between Call of Duty.
It must have just made, I mean, you know, for us on the outside, it makes no sense. Yeah. But there must have been some reason, some business or financial reason why they had to do it. So I feel like this delay has nothing to do with the time of year or trying to avoid other games. I feel like they just needed the time.
The only game that's like in this niche that's coming out this year is the Aliens game.
Oh, so it's avoiding that then, isn't it?
No, it's not going to matter. I think more people are excited for this than the Aliens game. Sadly, I think more people are expecting this to be good. You know, the Aliens game.
And what are the chances of us seeing that quarantine game as well? Or Rainbow Six? What was it called again? What have they renamed?
They haven't renamed it. I don't think yet.
It was leaked.
Quarantine.
It was the Rainbow Six Siege, but like PvE.
Contagion.
Oh, is that official though? I don't know if it's official.
Parasite or something like that.
Contagion.
He's onto some. Let me have a little Google.
Something like that, yeah. Rainbow Six.
Oh, you can type faster than me.
Yeah, Camille. I do remember that exact day. But do you remember the day of Wolfenstein, Assassin's Creed, and Mario Odyssey releasing in one day?
November.
Reports say that Rainbow Six Quarantine may be called Rainbow Six Parasite. They said that Ubisoft told investors the game's name would likely change as a result of the ongoing pandemic. I don't feel like Quarantine changing to Parasite is that much better.
Like to be, maybe I'm just I don't know. I don't really think the Quarantine name is a bad name anyways. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not going to affect me and how I think of the game at all. Like, if the game's the game. Like, it's just a name. For me, it's a word. Like, just because we were in lockdown and all that, like, and in a quarantine, like, I don't think that affects me.
Maybe
personally. Maybe it might affect them.
Yeah, like maybe that word quarantine might be in the next 5 years. It might be a trigger for someone's like really bad like experience with COVID. Like, they got to think about it. It could be like I never want to think about it again. I don't think it's just gonna go away. Like, I think this is it now. Anyway, it's Video Games Podcast.
We have one last story. You have something else to say?
I was just gonna say big shout out to the chat, like Camille coming in, like contributing to the show, Connor, Natalie having a chat. Like, it's nice to see, man. Like, I really appreciate like everyone just being here. Like, thank you very much. Nice, man.
Shout out to Camille.
I love Camille.
He was a great guest. One last. Reggie is going to be stepping away from the GameStop board of directors.
Wasn't there too long, was it?
He was there for about a year.
So there was an article, I never clicked it. Something about the GameStop financial report, like investor meeting, because you can get into these investor meetings, can't you? Or something. Am I right to say that you can hear what they're saying?
Well, if they're a public company, there's usually reports of this kind of stuff that they have to make public, because if their shares are traded publicly, anyone could be invested and should have access to that information, I think.
So is it what was said? Does anybody read this? Like I'm terrible for keeping, like, that looks way bigger than that would go over my head. Like what was said in this investors meeting?
I've been following it. Like, I mean, it must be interesting because obviously GameStop had that whole thing with the shorting of their shares and the whole like Melvin Capital thing with their stock prices like going through the roof. So, but I don't know what the report said or whether any of that was covered.
Is it a case of like job done for Reggie? You know what I mean?
Maybe, I don't know.
He did that interview with Gamertag radio host Danny Pena. Danny Pena.
Pena.
You
Pena?
say it.
Yeah.
Daniel, you say it. You're American.
Pena.
There you go. It sounds so much better in an American accent. And he never mentioned anything to a Gamescom. Like, he never mentioned what was going on, or like, what do you think, Daniel? Like, what do you think is case job done, or he's just like, oh, I'm done now? I don't know.
I was questioning him doing it in the first place. I think that they just need, because the new, I think it's the new CEO, right, is the guy from Chewy. He's the CEO of Chewy, if I remember correctly.
Sorry, what's Chewy? Is that an American company? Or?
It's like you can get like pet stuff delivered to your house.
Okay.
It's a surprisingly big company that you would never think. But he has gotten to like high up in GameStop. So I'm wondering if this is just all still restructuring, still trying to figure out what they need to do to keep GameStop still going. You know?
Yeah, because isn't Reggie one of like 8 other people that are stepping down? Something like that.
They got a lot recently to join the board. Well, there's a couple quotes in this Kotaku article I can read.
He's just...
it says turnover among our board members may disrupt our operations, our strategic focus, or our ability to drive shareholder value. So I'm wondering if they are just leaving.
Mm.
If we fail to attract and retain new skilled personnel for our board, our business and growth prospects could disrupt our operations and have a material adverse effect on our operations and business. So it sounds like maybe they did just all leave. They're like, we don't want any of this, we're out.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with stories like this, we're never going to really know like why they left. Like, it's never going to come out, probably. Unless we see what Reggie does next, you know, is like, depending on his next move, we might, you know, if he just retires, then fair enough, he might be done.
He's teaching as well. I think he was like teaching somewhere.
Yeah.
He was saying he was doing something. What he said in that interview. Maybe he did this for like his love of like retail shops, like of retail, like physical hard copies, like because he's such an old. I don't mean this disrespectfully. I think it's like an English term, but he's like an old boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, got old morals and like he wants. Yeah, do you know what I mean? He wants that physical. He wants that nice new game smell, and he wants there somewhere to be, like, to go. Like me and Natalie will go to town.
Let's get Reggie to come back. Let him be somebody like some PR Pete Hines type again. Come on, doesn't need to be Nintendo. Just bring him back. Like, we all love Reggie. Come on. Yeah. Imagine get him back on that stage. Get him speaking to me. Come on. You know?
Yeah, Doug Bowser just doesn't.
I mean, Doug, I'm sure he's doing fine in Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
but like
he's not Reggie, is he?
Yeah, he's not Reggie. Like Reggie's.
I feel like Doug Bowser hasn't. I don't know. Has he really had a chance though? Because I mean, I feel like Reggie's like personality comes from him being on stage and coming out in the events. But now they do the directs, and you don't really see the people. So I guess Doug Bowser hasn't had a chance to kind of do anything like that. So yeah, on that side, it's kind of like difficult for him to live up to Reggie's, hype and like, place in our hearts.
Like Reggie's on that, when Reggie's there though in them directs, when he was like announcing the Switch, he was in that like green screened room. I was so safe. I was like, Reggie's here, everything's gonna be okay.
It was no better moment than Game Awards. Sean Layden, Reggie, and Uncle Phil on the stage. Oh my god, chills! I love.
There's so many good memes about that as well, though.
Yeah, loved it.
Such a shame about Sean Layden. Like, we still don't know why he left. Weird.
I don't think we'll ever know. He's probably NDA'd as well. That I don't know. Maybe Camille or now you have me calling him that.
Oh my goodness! The second time I've been called Camille.
I can't believe you do it.
First time they can. It wasn't on camera.
How long do they usually go? Do they have a particular?
Oh man, NDAs can. I mean, I've seen NDAs that last for like 5 years or 7 years. Some of them could be forever, depending on what kind. Because it depends what the subject of the NDA is.
Right.
So
yeah, I guess
like,
it depends.
If he has some kind of like insider secrets, he might never be allowed to disclose them. Or if they made a deal, or if there was some kind of, I don't know, transaction or something that happened, or if there was an event that caused him to leave, he may, it's all internal. He may never be allowed to talk about it. But then there also comes a point where he might, like, when he's retired, he might just not, because like, for example, do you want to hear some nerdy legal stuff?
Yeah, man. This is what you hear, man. I want that nerdy shit.
So, like, in the UK, you have this thing called the statute of limitations, which basically means that if you breach for a contractual claim, like any breach of contract, you have 6 years to make a claim on it. After those 6 years, you can't like go through the court system and do anything about it. Yeah. So it's like, but then for some things, you can have it extending, or you can have, like, there are mechanisms to kind of get around that. So it just depends on how the document is drafted. So, for example, if it says this NDA lasts for 3 years, but then it renews automatically for another 3 years, then that renewal is like a new date for, like, you could say that now that 3 years is starting again, and that happens forever, and therefore then whenever you make a claim under that agreement, there are ways to get around it. But then there are all kinds of court cases and all kinds of arguments about whether that should be allowed, and blah blah blah. So there's a lot to it. But ultimately, I feel like he's probably, depending on what it is, he might never be allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, I want to know. But guess what?
Just the case he was just like, I'm done. Like, there's nothing to announce. I'm just leaving, and that's it. Like,
oh yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And we got Jim Ryan now, which not any better. Like, does anybody actually like listening to Jim Ryan talk? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. He sounds so corporate.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He's not like a personality. He's very much like all business. Like,
he's not Uncle Phil flying around just giving hugs out. Like,
definitely not. Definitely not. So let's move on to what we've been playing. Let's start with Kamel / Rahul.
I guess the game I probably play most is Genshin Impact. I play that every single day, do my dailies. I have not missed one day of playing that game since it came out. So it came out on September 26th, and in 2020, I have not missed one day of dailies. And yeah, I love it. It's a therapeutic experience, man. Like when I've had like a long day at work, I just have this 30-minute period where I can just log in, like just do the dailies, do the grind, listen to the awesome music, see the awesome visuals. The combat's really fun, really addictive. Like it's just the perfect game to unwind. So yeah, that's what I've probably been playing most. I recently started Final Fantasy VII Remake. Never played it before. It was free on PS Plus. So I thought, all right, this is the time. I think I just hit chapter 5. I'm really enjoying it. I struggled a bit with the combat at the start. I found it kind of weird, especially like the dodging and the blocking. Like I didn't really get those mechanics down. But I feel like I'm now. Say again?
You playing on normal?
On normal, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, like it took me a while to get used to it, but I feel like I'm getting there now. And then yeah, the other game I've been playing is Hitman 3, which I've been streaming that a lot. Well, not as much in the last few weeks, but I was streaming it a lot, and I'm loving it. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's
Which is your favorite level of 3?
Oh, I really like the Berlin level, the nightclub one, just because it really gives you free reign. There's like 11 targets, and you have to only kill 5 of them. So that gives you so much more sort of freedom of how you approach things. And I love how that like there is a very specific thing that you can do that allows you to actually kill all 11 targets. And it's just there's like really cool things in there that you figure out as you're playing, which I don't know, I just really love it. Obviously the Dartmoor level is great too.
Everyone talks about the Dartmoor level.
Yeah.
After like, you know, being able to like sit back and like I beat the game and kind of look at all the levels, like Mendoza might be my favorite level. That 5th level right before the end, like with the white and all that. Like there's just so much you could do in that.
Yeah. That's a great one as well.
So good.
Have you played it, Sims? Hitman?
No, it's something I was gonna pick it up, but well, I think I looked at the PlayStation Plus because I think they gave us the first one for free. There's like if I was gonna start playing, I'd rather just play the first one, which is free, and then I can see if I like the third one.
Version of 3, and you get everything.
It's a case of like I've never had a good relationship with it, or even a relationship with it, so it's kind of something that never really spoke to me. I'd like hope one day maybe like I don't really know, like it's
that's fair.
I've got
it's not anywhere
relationship with it, like and then like looking at number 3 and everyone was talking about how obviously there's always a bit of hype around a new game, and I was like at this point I was like I'm not gonna be I'm not suckered in, but I'm not gonna just buy into the hype and then find out I still have no relationship or I just don't get on with it. I wanted to go back to sorry. I was gonna go.
No, I was just gonna say.
Okay.
You go. Genshin Impact, like explain that gameplay loop.
Okay.
What is the game like? I see it. It looks fantastic. It looks very Breath of Wild-esque. Or like, what do you do?
I mean, it's just like any RPG game. Like you get given quests. There is a storyline. So basically, the story is that your character can basically travel through worlds, and basically you have a twin. And while you and your twin were traveling through worlds, like your twin gets captured by this like evil god, and you then this is all happening in like some dimensional space, and then you get dropped into the world like without your twin. So your twin is missing, and you are in this world, and you're trying to find him or her. You can choose to play the male or female character, and basically you just wander around and you come across towns, come across people, you kind of help them with quests, and this is like an ongoing story for the next like 3 years. So like they've got a roadmap until like 2020, so they're going to keep having updates where you'll unlock more story content as you go along. But basically, in terms of the gameplay loop, it's literally a case of you will have daily quests that you do every, kind of like Destiny. Like you'll just have quests and things that you have to do daily, like materials to collect, weapons to upgrade, equipment to build, and bosses to beat. There's just loads of stuff. It's just an open world kind of RPG essentially.
You say that you log in every day. Can you do it on your phone? You can play it on your phone, can't you?
You can. I play on my PlayStation though.
Like, can you have that same account on your mobile?
No. So I think PC and mobile has like you can share an account on them, but PlayStation's different, and apparently it's coming to Switch as well, and I assume that will be different as well.
Fascinating, like to have like come out in September. Like you could have played Avengers, but decided to play Genshin Impact. Fair enough. I'll let you off.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a sucker for anime games. I love anime. So when I saw the art style, and the other thing is the combat as well. And it is a gacha game, so there are microtransactions, and you basically collect new characters through like a random chance mechanic. So you have these, they're called wishes, and you spend this in-game currency to make wishes, and you might get a 4-star or a 5-star character from it. But to be honest, I've never felt compelled to spend money. I never felt like my progress has been hindered. It's a very weird free-to-play game for me in that sense, because like there is so much to do in that game. The map is gigantic. There's so many different quests, so many different activities. There's always like seasonal content going on. Like, I don't know, it's just a great game just to unwind. And in the same way, like, how you said you play Avengers and you just smash out those hive missions, and you almost just use that as a way to like hang out with your friends and just chill. Like, that's what it is for me. Like, I just log in, I'm like, right, I'm not going to think about work. I'm just going to go do my daily quest, which might be go to some random location and kill 8 enemies. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do that. And then the next one says, sabotage this thing, or the next one will say, complete this time trial. And you're just like, okay, cool, I'm just going to do those things. It's just fun. It's just nice. Question, Daniel.
How often do they update?
Every 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks. They've literally said that their plan is every 6 weeks to have new content.
So right now, games as a service having a plan.
Yeah, but this one actually works. They've not missed it yet. So we're currently on version 1.4, which came out, I think, last week. So they have like a new festival in the game. So the main town has like a festival. There's all these seasonal kind of events to do, some new story quests. There's a new character. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
This game just popped up out of nowhere. Am I right to say that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I in the Japan or back years.
That's why
they literally showed it off in a sizzle reel in a state of play, and I looked at it and I was like, "Oh my god, it looks like Breath of the Wild, but with anime characters." And I think Kumail and I were watching it at the same time, or we did like a podcast about it afterwards or something. And we were both, because Kumail's a big anime person as well, and we were both just like, "Dude, we're getting this day one." Like for my birthday, Kumail bought me like the premium like starter bundle for it, which gave me some like free stuff. And we both, day one, we were both playing it. I think he dropped off for a bit and then came back afterwards. But for some reason, it just stuck with me. Like, I don't know. It's just very addictive, like, daily loop of things to do.
These kind of games have to be, if it's your game, it's your game. It's like a bit like me. Like I know, people say Avengers is trash. Avengers, it is. It's not fantastic. It's not great by any means. But it's still that like. I described it once as like gaming junk food. It's just something that you want to intake and like you feel comfortable with, and like it's like Uncle Phil's hugs. Like it's like you just feel safe in that like place. Like I respect that.
Honestly, like there are times when I'm playing. I turn on my PlayStation and I'm like, all right, I can either continue Final Fantasy VII Remake, or I can just do some quests and just grind in Genshin. And 9 times out of 10, I'll just grind in Genshin. And I don't know what's wrong with me. I've got this whole list of like amazing games to play, and I'm just like, nah, I kind of want to just grind Genshin. It's like, I don't know why, but yeah.
You said Final Fantasy that you play at the normal mode. Have you played the original first of all?
I did play it. I never finished it, but I got to like the second disc.
Because
I played it on a PSP, like so. I got to the content that would have been on the second disc if I played.
I think I did as well. I think I played this one, then I went to the OG one, on the Switch with all the like the bells and whistles of like all the cheats and the speed up things.
Nice.
Because I just wanted to experience Midgar in like its original glory, and then I carried on a bit further. I don't know how far I got, but I got quite far. But how come you didn't decide to do? There was like what other modes were there? It was like normal.
It was easy, normal, but then hard is locked.
And then easy mode, and then the combat style was like you can have it fight for you, but you can like.
Yeah, I think it's called classic mode
something
or something
like that. Yeah, I chose that, but I'd never played a Final Fantasy at all. Like I bought into like the peer pressure of like Final Fantasy VII is the greatest game of all time. This remake will be the greatest remake of all time. and
Mm.
we were doing a podcast and we wanted to all talk about it together. And luckily for me, it was a fantastic experience. Like, I had a great time with it on classic easy mode. Experienced the story. You know, me and my boy Clad, we got on swellingly. You know, Sephiroth, I don't see like he doesn't seem like a bit of a badass. Like, I feel like I could take him.
Okay.
It was our number 2 game of the year.
Yeah.
As-
What? How are you getting on with the remake?
Oh, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm yeah, as I said, like I've had it since the start of the month when it was free on PS Plus. So
Fantastic.
yeah, amazing. It's literally worth the price of like the annual subscription because it still sells for like £40. Like at Christmas time when I was thinking about getting it around January, and I just missed one of the sales, and even in the sale it was like £30, and you know your annual PlayStation Plus subscription is like 50 or 60 or something like that. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'll definitely finish it, but I just don't know when, because now that Monster Hunter's out, that's going to be, as I said, it's going to sink all my time into that. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a good game. I think I just struggled with some of the like you know, I don't know, you guys, I assume you guys have both played it and finished it, but in chapter 4 there's like a motorcycle boss.
Yeah.
And I just didn't really get it took me like I failed it like 4 or 5 times before I really understood like what I was doing. And I just feel like, I don't know, they kind of explain things, but they also just throw you into stuff. And like, I felt like the dodging was not like responsive enough. Like, I felt like every time I dodged, I was still getting hit by something. And when I was blocking, I was still taking damage. And I don't know, I just feel like when I first started playing that game, I felt like I'm doing something wrong in the combat. Like, I don't understand why, like, I'm struggling with this. But now that I'm playing a bit more, I'm sort of, I guess I just wasn't utilizing all the different mechanics, like all the different skills. But yeah, I'm getting there.
Switching characters, keeping an eye on that what is it, ATB meter.
Yeah.
Move, they could do stuff like that or you can do that, use a potion, stuff like that. It's all about switching and
and ever since I got the assess materia, I can like figure out what the enemy weaknesses are, and I've been like utilizing that to get the is it the break state, or you know, whatever the state is where you stagger them. Yeah. So now I'm enjoying the combat more. I definitely will jump back into it for sure, because I'm enjoying the graphics are amazing. Everything looks and feels silky smooth. So yeah, I just need to jump back in eventually.
Anything else?
Sorry, why normal? Like, if you, I don't know, like, why if you're not.
Well, normal is just because in my head, normal is what the developers intended you to play on. Like, that is the default like difficulty that they put. So for me, it's just like, this is how, for my first experience of the game, this is how I imagine the developer intended for the first person to play it. But again, like, there's no specific like rhyme or reason to it. I just thought I
just wanted that story. I just wanted the story. I went in there like really skeptical about it. Am I gonna like this? I've tried numerous like Final Fantasy games and I've never clicked with them, never enjoyed them. And I don't know, this one I was just in. Like, as soon as like it all like as soon as it all hell breaks loose, no spoilers. Like, I was just like, this is. And then the soundtrack was incredible, and it was just, I don't know, it was really good. Like, something in my brain just went, you like this game, and I was like, okay. Like, it was
good.
Strange, very strange.
So, have you been playing anything else, Rahul?
No, I mean, I downloaded Crash Bandicoot on the Run on mobile, which I've not actually played yet, but I just pre-installed it, but I'll check it out. Yeah, I'm a huge Crash fan. Crash is one of the franchises that I got my little Crash toy on my desk. Always. Oh,
look at that! Look at that!
That's smart. I do not like this guy, but yeah, no. Crash Team Racing was the first game that I played on my PS1 when I got it, and yeah, ever since then, been a Crash fan.
What did you think about Crash 4?
Oh god, Crash 4! I found it so hard. I literally could not, because so before Crash 4 came out, I platinumed Crash 1, 2, and 3 in the Insane trilogy, and that was hard, and that requires like a decent amount of skill because some of those time trials, you know, you have to complete the level without dying. I mean, to get the gems, you have to complete the level without dying, and for the time trials, you basically have to do it without dying, and it's just like, I don't know why I couldn't even beat some of the regular levels in Crash 4. I was just struggling hard, and I
think
do not.
One, because I think 1 was way harder.
I don't know, man. Like I like the story, I like the art style, but there was just something about. I think the levels were too long for me. Like
they were long. I think the masks really hinder it a little bit. That was my biggest complaint. I know Connor really liked the masks, but it just became a mechanic that just was so necessary for like all these different things, and it didn't really work for me. I like the normal Crash gameplay and the challenge of that.
Yeah,
and whatever.
I mean, there's a lot of skill in that. Like, if you see people speed running it, you don't need like all the masks to make it challenging. Like, there's a lot of challenge there just doing it normally. But I mean, I see why they did it, because, you know, for the casual player, it's cool to have all the different masks, and that's fine. And there is, you know, the next step, like you iterate, because, you know, if they didn't have the masks, people go, oh, it's just the same old Crash game, like nothing new here. Which, fair enough. Like, I think that's probably accurate. But for me, I like the old style of doing it. I mean, another thing, I just feel like, because I played the Insane trilogy so much before Crash 4 came out, I feel like the controls are a bit different. Like, his jump felt a bit more floaty, and like I didn't feel like as confident with the moves I was making. So if they're like, you know, sometimes they'll always do this thing where you're on like a path, and then there's a hole, and there's a box like floating on top of the hole, and you just have to get a perfect jump from your little ledge onto the box and then jump straight back. Otherwise, if you miss, you'll fall down the hole, and if you hit the box and you don't jump back onto the ledge, you'll also just fall down the hole. And with the other Crash games, I just knew, like, I had the depth of field. I was just like, I know, like, this jump is going to hit the box. But with Crash 4, I just fell down those holes every single time. And I was like, I can't judge it. Like, something just feels off about his jumps. I don't know. But I'm going to go back to it now that the PS5 version, like the native version, is out. I do want to complete it at some point. And I did promise Camille that I would stream it at some point, because my frustration with that game, there's a lot of swearing. And it'd be fun to watch. Some people might enjoy watching it.
Natalie was a massive fan of Crash Bandicoot, loves it. I'm not so much. Platforming, Crash Bandicoot, jumping. But no, she played it, and I was playing. I forgot. But watching her, she was so frustrated playing it. Like, so frustrated. Like, she got so angry. Like, and
it's hard.
And
it's hard.
It hindered her experience, and at the end of it, like, I think she just sat down and was like, "I'm quite disappointed with it."
No, I'm the same. Like, I'm glad that they made it and it revived the franchise, and most people love it. But just for me, it didn't click. And like, it's annoying, because I would consider myself to be a pretty hardcore Crash fan. Like, I've completed all the other Crash games, apart from, like, I think they had some like Game Boy ones called like Mind Over Mutant or something random that Activision did. But like, all the core Crash games, I've completed them, and mostly 100% of them.
Connor,
and I was just
Connor
this one. I just
wants to know if you've plattered Crash Team Racing.
Yes.
This one, the one.
Yeah. The most recent one.
He has also platinum Crash Team Racing, and I believe.
And I've beaten, I think, I think there are maybe like 30 tracks in the game. I've beaten 24 like Emperor Velo Ghost time trials, which are like, so there's 4 types of time trial. There's oh god, who are they? So you've got, I think it's N Trophy, which is like the easy time trial. Then you've got Nitrous Oxide, which is the kind of medium to hard one. Then you've got Emperor Velo, which are supposed to be the hard ones. And then you have your developer time trials, which are just like, you have to be perfect. So I've beaten most of the hard ones, but I've not beaten any developers yet.
Connor Knowles says in the chat, he says he could take you down anytime, any place. He's throwing down the gauntlet right now.
Let's go. All right, I'm in. Let's go.
He didn't really say that, but he definitely wants a piece of your ass right now. He goes, shit, this guy doesn't fuck around.
I love Crash Team Racing. I play it every 2 weeks, just a little bit on the weekend, just to keep the skill sharp. My favorite.
This is content. This is content.
Let's go,
Connor. Congratulations on your weird obsession with Crash Team Racing.
Thanks.
So Sims, what have you been playing?
Oh god. I've kind of just been over the weekend. I was like, I'd stopped. So I need because you played Watch Dogs come out.
Excellent. I love it. Camille obviously left a lasting impression
Honestly,
on you guys.
he's the greatest person in the world. Like, it made me happy. Like, even made Natalie happy downstairs. Like, Natalie's like, I really like him. I was like, I like him too. He's great. Yeah. What I've been playing Watch Dogs Legion. So first couple of the first week first couple of days of playing it, I get to play like a couple of hours a night, so not too long. Went around all the districts, I did all the little missions to then unlock the borough, free the borough, like make them like be on my side. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah. Like liberate them.
Yeah.
So then I thought, well, now my idea is to get all the little green orbs, get all the tech points. Do I need to do that for a platinum?
Yes. Almost all of them. I think you need like 80% of them for the plat.
Anyway, so I gave up doing that, and I was like, I'm gonna get into this story. And I've been playing the story, and it really has grabbed me. Like, it really has intrigued me. There was one story with the lady. I forgot her name now. The proper like gangster lady.
Oh.
She's kidnapping people, putting chips in the brain.
Oh, is it Kelly?
Yes, Clan Kelly lady.
Yeah. Clan Kelly.
So, and then the game has this weird thing of like, you do a bit of this one story, then it ends. Then you go and do another story, then it ends, but there's no conclusion to it. And then I think it kind of like doubled back on itself. And I think what he's trying to do is like maybe it all meet itself in the middle. Am I right in saying that?
I mean, I think as you progress through the main storyline, more of the side story content will unlock over time. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, I guess.
I'm doing what am I doing right now? I've just done this guy has like double crossed like 3 different people, and I've been caught next to a building and it's exploded.
Okay.
What's the guy? The guy, he was a spy, and he was like double crossing me and double crossing Sirs.
Spoilers, by the way, for anyone who hasn't played Watch Dogs Legion. Double crossed the guy at the start and a double.
Nobody's playing this game. Like, I do not recommend this game. I do not recommend it. Like, listen to Sims will tell you. Go and watch it on YouTube. Not missing any exciting. Like, the gameplay is alright. The story's good. I'll leave it at that. Like, the story's I'm getting something from it. I want to plat it due to the fact that I platinum 1 and 2. So like, I feel like I need to like put a little bow on it. Like, some of the trophies, like
the trophies are a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's like each character has to like some character you have to if you don't have the character, you gotta go and get the character, and then you gotta. It just seems the game just wants to make you jump through hoops. I'm going to play the story. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to think about my life, reevaluate it, and then think whether I should platinum this game. The voice acting is still just a massive turn off.
Yeah, like, absolutely.
I'm still just sitting there like, whoa. Like, even I'm like, whoa, fucking hell, fam. I was like, oh.
Like, yeah, there's some of the people you just, like, I think we were saying before we started recording, like, you know, one of the characters you recruit as a spy. And my spy was a guy. He had a tuxedo, had a bow tie. He looked really suave, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna be like a James Bond kind of guy. Like, he'll probably be a stereotypical British person, like what the developers thought a stereotypical British like posh person would sound like Bond." And then you get up to him, you speak to him, and it's like, "Oh, like, would you want to join DedSec or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, fam, let's fuck him up." And I'm just like, "What?" So it just does not fit.
How often do they say bottle of water? How often do they say that in the game?
To be fair, not frequently.
No, he says that we say it weirdly, and that you say it like you say it. Bottle of water.
Bottle of water.
Bottle of water.
He says that way better than you do, so
I'm deadly. I'm from Derby. I'm like, I say Derby wrong. It's Derby. Derby.
That's how you say
Bottle of water.
bottle of water. Yeah.
I'm supposed to take the piss out of your stupid accent, not mine.
What part of the States are you from, Daniel?
Huh?
Where in the States are you from? Like what?
I am from Florida, but I live in North Carolina.
I don't know what the accent's like there. So
I don't really. I have a pretty neutral accent.
You say bottle of water.
I live in the South. Me, bottle of water.
Yeah, but you're thinking about it.
No, bottle of water. Bottle of water. Bottle of water. I have a bottle of water.
When the VOD goes up, can we just have an edit that says like the SpongeBob voice or like 2 hours later? Like, bottle of water. Bottle of water.
Bottle of water.
That's much better. You said bottle weird, but that was much better.
Bottle. I'm thinking about it. Shut up.
Bottle.
Oh.
No, I don't know. We're off the rails, guys.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Watch Dogs Legions. It just lets itself down with its terrible voice acting. Like if you strip that away from it and then put in some, maybe just take a bit more time in like the accents. Like, you know, yeah, some people will speak like that, but not
every
not 50, not 40%. 50%.
But this is London. Like how much of London speaks like that?
Well,
not that.
You live in London.
Yeah, not much. It's pretty varied.
Especially like you're not gonna see like, you know, when you drive around to like Buckingham Palace and, you know, like even one of the characters you can recruit is like one of the guard, you know, with the red jacket and the black kind of hat.
Guard.
Even them guys talk like that. I'm like, no way. Like they would definitely not talk like that. But it is what it is.
I can see why this would like put a lot of people off. Like it's
weird because one bit they've done right is like I really like the radio stations you get in the cars. Like they have like a talk show channel, which is, you know, I think it's based off a real radio station in London, and it's great. Like it's accurate. There's one time where I just sat in the car, I just waited for them to finish their conversation because like, this is great. This is really interesting. But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah.
It just
You can play anything else?
Yeah. Kameo says he has a bottle of water TM, as in like trademark. As we were talking about earlier. Not a lot really. I put Ring Fit on yesterday. I'm on a diet. Looking at myself now, I'm gonna look at an old video. I feel like I've lost a bit on the old face, you know.
Looking good.
I've only been on a diet for 2 weeks, but I'm looking for some like exercise. Obviously the gyms are closed, and like I'm trying to think of like exercise I enjoy. Like I don't want to do exercise that I don't. I've been doing a stepper for a couple of days, and I got to yesterday and I was like, I just don't enjoy this like stepping on. I'm just bored. Like,
podcast on or
I've been watching like kind of funny streams and stuff like that. I'm just like, I'm only doing something on my legs, and then I'm just like, my legs feel, I don't know. So anyway, I was like, we got Ring Fit. I was like, let's play the Ring Fit then. So I was doing the Ring Fit on the spot, squeezing it in, like do some squats, and my fucking body aches.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I've got Ring Fit as well. They put you through a workout.
To attack the bad guys, you got to do squats. Who does squats? Who enjoys doing squats? No fucker. And then I was like in the kitchen because I was like bouncing around the living room. So I was like, I'll just go in the kitchen because it's all obviously you can take the screen for the Switch, put it on the side, and just like do a little workout. I smashed my knee against the kitchen side. You know when you go up the stairs? You got to lift your knees up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my knee's just on fire. Like it doesn't look like anything, but oh my god, something's not right. It's raised. It's ligaments.
Oh man, that's tragic.
I want to complain about it though. Like, I want to do a workout. I don't want to watch a story. And maybe like I'm guessing there's a different mode for it. But like, I did this running bit, I did this first bit. I was sweating. I got my heart rate going. I was like, right, I'm burning the calories. I'm having a good time. And then I was like, there was this cut scene. I was like, I don't care. Like, I just want to do the next bit. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, there's a gate. Give us the option to skip this scene. Like, I know you want to try and tell a story for Sable,
but you're trying to get away.
I mean, it also might be a case of making you take breaks in between.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Sizes. Like you get like a second to get catch your breath and drink some water or whatever. So it could be designed to be that way.
I know it got me on the floor. I was like dead confused because like you put one Joy-Con in the ring and then you put one Joy-Con like in this like leg strap and you wrap it around your leg.
Yeah.
And I had this moment of madness of like it told me to put the Joy-Con down on the floor, lie on the floor, and do this like this. I can't lift my legs up. And I was like, and it started working for me, and I was like, how does it know I'm doing this? And then I realised I got the leg strap on like 5 minutes later. I was like, how does it know? And I'm looking at the Joy-Con and the ring on the floor, and I'm like, how do you know?
Pause for 1 second. Nat said that there is a workout mode, not just an adventure.
Yeah, she
mode.
said that. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look into it. Not today because I am sore. Like, who has fun doing squats?
It's just workout modes.
Yeah, I want to have a look at that. There was like they added that dancing mode with all the like the recognizable like Zelda soundtrack and Mario soundtrack. And I had a quick go on that, but I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. It wanted me to do this dead fat. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it probably wants you to twist. That's a good workout. Works your sides.
Well, no, yeah, like when I was lying on the floor and it was making me do this stuff that I just don't. I like to work. I do like exercise. Like I just make excuses not to do exercise. Other than that, Daniel, you were going to talk about it. I played a bit of Loop Hero. And
we can talk about it now.
I had a good time. I only played it for like an hour. Like I was like,
okay.
Every podcast I've listened to, like play Loop Hero, and I was like, this Loop Hero sounds amazing. Like, and I put it on, and I
think I played it for about 3 to 4 hours.
Wow, that's more than what but like I was like in. I was like weirdly in. Like it was going around, but biting the bad guys, and I didn't quite understand. I've read into it, but I didn't quite understand the cards, like putting it around the map. So I was just dashing them on there, I was like, this is obviously doing something. And then if
you just kind of read them, they'll kind of.
If you just actually like take a second to just like understand the game.
I didn't mean it that way, but like.
That's the second person that's insulted me in reading. But my manager came down the stairs from work the other day. She goes, would you like to do this training? I was like, yeah. She was like, well, there's an audio version because I've heard that you struggle reading. And I was like, who said that? I can read. I just.
No. On the computer, like where your stats would be, it'll kind of, if you just hover, it'll kind of tell you. So
yeah,
a weird one is like the treasure room. So like the treasure room, you have to place it, and then when you place it, when you place things around it, you'll get like random resources. So
I was looking and I was like, looking at like a video is like you can put the mountains together.
Yeah, the mountains. You want to create
I was just putting it around the edge.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you create like a 9 square thing, it'll create a mountain, and then a harpy will come out of that.
Like this. I played it now as I'm playing it. But I just having a good time with it, and we were just getting, like when you were like they were dropping a new sword, and I was like, ooh, that sword's got bigger numbers than that sword.
How many just runs did you do out of the hour?
About 5.
About 5 runs.
And even at one point, I was making the bed, and I was like, I should put it on there. And then my kid was on. I was like, click the right click button, quick. Let's change that sword to a better sword. And she was like, I don't understand it. I was like trying to teach. Well, I'm not teach her, but I've been lazy, and I was trying to get her to do it for me. I think of the guns on Fortnite, and I was like, that gun has less numbers, and this has more numbers. Anyway, but no, it was enjoy. I'd love to play it. Unfortunately, it's just on a PC, and it's not. If I had a laptop, I'd play a lot more of it. Like I'd like a little laptop. But no, yeah, Daniel, please tell us more. Like that's me what I've been playing. Honestly, it's weird, mate.
I did
numbers.
It's not that bad if you just you hit that planning phase. You have all the time you need. Yeah. So basically, Rahul, you can like pause the game. So your character is just always the loops they always look different every run you do. So it's not just a standard thing. It'll one time you'll go this way, sometimes you go this way, and looks different. But there's like a planning mode, so you can pause it, and that's when you can just kind of look at everything. You look at your cards, and you can kind of figure out where you want to place them. You can look at your equipment and re-equip and stuff like that, or look at the enemies, kind of see what's going on. And then you can pretty much pause it at any point in the game, whether you're in combat or not. It usually doesn't matter. I don't know how many upgrades you got, Sims, at like the camp when you go back to the camp after the run.
That was the bit that kept me like wanting me to keep going. That was like, oh, I want to upgrade this camp.
Need some material, yeah.
Yeah, and I got to a point when I was nearly gonna die, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna leave this run.
Gotta get out of there, yeah.
Yeah, I played it once, and this goblin thing came up. He was like, ha ha ha, I'm a goblin. I was like, I'm gonna kill you, obviously. He slaughtered me. And then the second time I saw him again, I was like, oh no, not the lizard guy again. And I slaughtered him, and I had a good time beating him up.
So the goblins, they come out every 10 rock or mountain blocks you put out. So once you kind of put 10 out, then a goblin like territory pops up on your loop. I ended up getting like 2 or 3, and I had a loop that lasted a long time. But I never got to fight the boss. I got really close, but I just ended up not doing too good. I had too many enemies, too low health. But yeah, I've upgraded a pretty good amount. I've upgraded I got 2 farms. I've gotten the blacksmith. What was the other one? There's another one I got, and then I got
the one that makes the potions.
The one that makes the potions, yeah. And then I got the rogue. So I unlocked the rogue, and I did like only 2 runs with the rogue. So the big difference,
class, isn't it?
It's another class. I don't know how many classes there are. I haven't gotten that far.
I think there is 2.
The thing about, like, for me, because I've not played this game, I don't even know what it looks like.
I was gonna say, do you know what this game looks like? Because it looks.
No. So like in my mind, I'm like, this game sounds so complicated.
So it's like a top-down game. Okay. Very like NES RPG. Pixel. Okay. It's just top-down. You see your loop, and then you can kind of place your things around it. Enemies will pop up on your little loop. It's just a little like track thing. And then you go out of the run. You go and you have like this little like camp. You kind of are using your materials to like make things.
That's cool.
The
stuff that you're saying though sounds like so complicated. Like another video that another meme video was basically there's video where these people do these tutorials for games that don't exist. They're just fake like spoof tutorial videos for games that don't exist. But it's just the way that this sounds. It sounds so much like that video. It's like, all right, so what you're gonna want to do is place 8 mountains, and that's gonna make a goblin appear, and then you're gonna want to kill your goblin, and that's gonna create 2 farms. And using farms, that's gonna help you get mana regen. I'm just like, what? This game sounds crazy.
It really is.
One other level to it too is like when you create these things, they'll do stuff, and they'll also create the cards. So there's like I think you can only have 12 cards like for every like run you're doing, and you'll get them randomly as you kill enemies. And like I forget, one of them gave me a village. I haven't been able to use that card yet, but there's like a village that you can put it down and it'll do something. And you kind of have to like build a deck around making it harder so that you can like level up your hero. Because you want to level your hero up, you get better equipment so you can go longer. But you don't want to make it too hard on yourself, or you're just going to die and not get any resources.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fun balance. And the rogue Sims is actually really different. So normally when you kill an enemy, you'll either have a chance of like getting a card, or you'll get like a piece of equipment or something like that. The rogue, you don't do that. So the rogue, every enemy you kill, you get like a trophy, basically, is what they call it. And it just goes into this little bag next to your equipment. And then every time you get back to the camp, because there's like your camp, Rahul, that you're like, that's the kind of the starting point of every little like thing you do, every little loop is your camp. Every time you get back to the camp as a rogue, that is when you get your equipment. So every run, you can't like sit there and mess with your stuff. You have to wait and do a full loop, and then you get like 9-10 pieces of equipment at one time. So the rogue, it's pretty much when you get back to that camp, you pause for a second and you mess with it, and then you keep going. And also, you can't have a shield the warrior can use a shield and a weapon. The rogue uses 2 weapons. The rogue also doesn't get a ring to equip. You get boots. So it's like slightly different equipment you're seeing. Yeah, and my 2 runs as a rogue, I think, were pretty successful. Like, I could tell that the rogue was doing way more damage compared to the warrior, but I felt like the warrior, I could just last longer, like had a little more defense. I could kind of take more hits and stuff. But I really liked the rogue. It definitely felt different to play. It wasn't just kind of a look.
Cool. I might check it out.
It's a very interesting game. How do you feel about this game then, Daniel? Like, are you enjoying it? Is it something that you're gonna play again?
I'm gonna loot real quick as well. I've been drinking a lot of water all stream, so I'll be back in 2 secs.
I really like the game. I think it's really fun. I definitely want to keep playing. Like, I was kind of waiting for it to come to console, but thank you for giving me the game. Like, it was definitely a game that I wanted to check out for sure.
Yeah, like it's been mentioned a lot on podcasts, and it sounded up your alley, and I was like, I don't know why it's up my alley. Like, I think
it's got card mechanics. Like, it's just like, come on, it's exactly what I would want to play.
Daniel Dwyer just like sold it to me.
He talked very good about that.
I was just like, this game sounds incredible. Like, and it was very complicated. I just sat down with it Saturday morning. Sat down with it and just.
Oh, God, I thought you were say.
I just read what Connor bought. Like,
oh,
well, yeah, it was something that.
I'm surprised that you were interested in this game at all. To be honest,
I remember people talking about Loop Hero, and I remember putting it on a stream and I looked at it and I was like, ugh, and then turned it off. And then I think I listened to Bombcast. Is it Bombcast? And I was like, I really enjoyed the Giant Bombcast, by the way. People should check this out.
And the Beastcast.
It's really good. Like, I really enjoyed. I've not started Beastcast yet, but yeah, like, I don't know. I just sat with it and I was just like, this is like not watching the numbers go up. It's just them things in the brain that.
Yeah. Just one more run. You know, I could do one more loop.
What else have you? What else have you played?
It's your section. Have you been playing anything else?
Oh no, that was it. That's it. I'm done. Like, Natalie finished Nexo on. I can't really tell you what. I don't know what happened. She's playing Bugsnax. That looks fun.
Bugsnax. Yeah. How far is she Bugsnax?
2 days. 2 days.
Cool.
She played it for 2 days now. Probably a couple of hours each night. Looks fun. Like investigations. There's always someone's talking to her. I don't listen to it because I'm listening to my game with the Oi governors and the really bad talking. But I hopefully, and I would say hopefully I'll finish it over the weekend, but I won't because It Takes Two. Hopefully we'll finish it. It Takes Two over the weekend. That game looks incredible, doesn't it? How good does that get?
Good. Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm really excited. Wait tomorrow.
It's just not you know it's not a franchise for me really, but like more power to people that want to play it.
What are we talking about? What franchise?
He just brought up Monster. So yeah, I've been playing. I played a lot of games this week. I played the Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 games. They came to I think they were on PC. They came to Switch, and now they're on PS4 and Xbox. I don't know if you two like Angry Video Game Nerd or.
I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it. Someone mentioned it the other day actually. What is it?
Oh, the Nerd's great. So he's a YouTuber. He's been doing it forever. He just kind of does like video game reviews, but he makes a comedy skit out of it. He used to be called the Angry Nintendo Nerd. He used to only do like NES games, and then he kind of rebranded a little and just started doing all different types. So the games are like 2D platformers, kind of like Mega Man. They're set up a little differently, 1 and 2. 1 is set up more like Mega Man, where there's like 8 levels, and you can kind of choose whatever order you want to do them, and then there's like a final boss. And then 2 is kind of set up more like Mario, where you kind of going on a path. There's like a hub thing, and you're kind of going on a path, getting to like a boss, and then you beat the boss, going to a different path, beating a boss. But it's a little more open than Mario. It isn't just kind of like just keep going. Really, it is. There's 5 different areas. Do them whatever order you want to do them. Yeah, but they are super challenging. There's a lot of different difficulties. You can put on like an easy mode, but they are not forgiving. Like he plays really bad games all the time, so he I think wanted to make a game that was challenging, and it definitely lives up to that. It's super funny. It's got a lot of like his humor and stuff like that, and it's a good game. It's good. They're pretty short. I think I beat both of them in like 3.5 hours combined, like both combined. Like they're not that long. I think there was like one level in the second game that took way too long, but for the most part, they are set up a little differently. Like one was pretty like short, sweet levels, or I'm sorry, 2 was short, sweet levels, but there's a lot more levels. 1 was set up with just the 8 worlds, a little longer. I kind of liked how 2 did it, with just short, sweet, like really hard, but like you could beat it pretty quick. 1's the levels were just a little longer, but yeah, they're really fun little games. If you like Mega Man, I'd say check them out. They're just challenging. Yeah, Mega Man. And then the other game that I checked out is Fights in Tight Spaces.
It's a cool name. I like the name.
It is a. And speaking of Daniel games that are card games and roguelikes, this is another one.
Loves him.
So basically the premise is, let me try to give you a pitch. It is basically John Wick without the guns, mixed with a card game and a roguelike. I'd say kind of like Slay the Spire, if you know Slay the Spire.
Ooh, I love Slay the Spire.
Oh, no.
Okay, so if you know Slay the Spire, I'm selling you on it. So basically, it is a small little area. So it's a card game, right? So you have your cards, and those cards are your moves.
Yeah.
So one will take 1 mana. You could just do like a quick punch, or one of them is you could just push an enemy. I think the push an enemy is like a free card, and you have this little arena, and enemies will be on there, and you can kind of see what their attack is. So like one is like a gun guy, and he'll shoot just straight forward.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But they won't attack until you end your turn. So you kind of have cards that you can move away, have them hit each other.
Yeah.
I haven't really unlocked. I think I unlocked a new deck, so I haven't got to try out other ways of playing. Like the first deck you get is like a balanced deck, so it's pretty good at blocking and moving, but also attacking. There were other decks that were a little more defensive or a little.
What console is it on, or is it PC only?
It is PC. I am playing it through Games Preview on Xbox.
Okay.
So it's still kind of an early access. I'm assuming it's going to get a final release this year.
Okay. Cool.
So that's how you kind of do the combat, and then you pop out to like a very Slay the Spire map where you can kind of see where your pathway is going and pick and choose. It's not as varied as Slay the Spire, where you can take all these different pathways. It's really only usually like 1 or 2, and they're different arenas. There's like events that you can run into. There are ways to buy cards and upgrade through them. But it's a really cool game. I would say check it out. The art style is really unique. It's super minimal, but I think it's really effective. It's like this black and white color scheme with like splashes of other colors. So like some enemies are red. I had to like protect this ambassador that was green. So he kind of just popped out and knew exactly that this is the guy I got to protect.
I'm looking at it now. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. It's definitely a hard game.
It's got that super hot art style, kind of.
It's got the what art style?
Super hot. If you've ever played that, it kind of gives me those vibes.
It is definitely super hot. I didn't even think to compare it to super hot. But yeah, definitely super hot. It's very challenging. The final boss of that first section, he's like a Santa Claus basically, because like the first area you're fighting like Nordic people, so a lot of them have like big beards and stuff. And you basically fight this like bad Santa Claus biker. He's really hard. He just Yeah, it's a fun game. I definitely want to try out the other decks because I definitely feel like I'm more of a defensive player when it comes to like card games and stuff. So like I want to try out that. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing. Connor, I do want to say what Connor's been playing because he did finally beat Demon's Souls.
GG's.
He beat Demon's Souls, and then he said he was playing Fallout 3. So I'm wondering if he just got into the Bethesda head and
felt like going back to a classic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So now we're going to go on to our final segment. We're going to play a little game. We're going to do 20 questions.
Oof. Okay.
20 questions. So our rules, they're pretty much the same, but I give everybody 20 questions and then a final guess. Instead of part of it. So
okay.
You get 21 questions. I have the game right here.
So am I playing against Sims?
Nope, it's you two together trying to guess the game. I want you guys to no.
Okay, cool.
So you guys working together. To beat me.
Okay.
I am ready whenever you guys are.
You're on mute, Sims.
There you go. Why don't you ask the first question, Rahul?
Right. Well, having been a fan of IGN Game Scoop, did this game come out before the year 2000?
Before 2000, no. It did not.
Okay, that's good.
Never mind. Did this game come out in the year after no, is this game on? Is this get? Ow! Just bit my tongue. Is this game?
Wow, you really?
I'm not very good at this. Is this game exclusive to the Xbox?
No, it's not.
See, I'm not on.
That you only know Xbox exclusive. That's all you know.
Okay.
There's no.
Is this game? Did this game come out after the year 2010?
After 2010, yes.
Right.
Okay.
That's 10 years. Right. So January 2011. Right. What game came out? We go January.
Oh no, we're not. We ain't doing that shit. All right. Okay. Is this game exclusive to a platform?
No.
Okay, so it's a multi-platform game. Okay.
Did this game come out after the year 2015?
After
2015, yes.
Right.
Okay. So quite modern. So
January 2016.
Okay. I want to try. Oh man, this is hard because.
Is this game was this a Ubisoft game?
I would ask you to be more specific.
Is this game
developed, published? I'd ask you to be more specific.
Is this game published by Ubisoft?
It's not published by Ubisoft.
Is it developed by Ubisoft?
Don't waste the question on
that. I'm confused.
I want to try and figure out the genre, but like
whatever helps you. I want you guys to succeed.
Do you play as a humanoid character?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a humanoid.
So it's not like one of those abstract weird games or like.
Remember the game Everything, where you just could be whatever.
Yeah.
That was a weird game.
Okay. Is it a?
Is this game a games as a service?
Oh, that's a good question.
No.
Okay, but you see how I have to think about it.
Yeah.
So it's something that might be, or could arguably. Okay.
2015.
So it's all PS4, Xbox One. When did the Switch come out? Oh yeah, it could be Switch as well.
2007.
Play as a human character.
You guys don't know much about the game.
Yeah. Do you shoot things in this game?
Uh,
Okay, has to think about it.
yeah, you shoot things. Yeah.
Okay. But it's obviously not like Call of Duty because that would have been a much easier yes. Okay, so you're shooting things. You play as a human. Human who shoots things.
Not games as a service, but it kind of is. You have to think about it.
I still want to kind of figure out what the. I think publisher might help narrow it down, but it could be one of those big publishers, or it might not. Okay. Nah, you could go.
Whatever helps you.
Game published by Bethesda.
Published by Bethesda, no. That's 10 already. 10 more.
Jesus.
You're going to ask Connor in the chat for help? He's not on the show. Not right now.
Did this game come out?
Is this game played in the first person perspective?
No. It's
not. This game come out after the year 2017.
Yes. He likes that question.
I'm just random him all. So 2007. Is the game review well?
Yeah, reviewed well.
I don't really have much on this, man. So it came out after 2017. You play as a human character. You may or may you shoot things. It's sort of not really a game as a service, and it's not exclusive. So it's a multi-platform game.
And it reviewed well. I asked that question.
Yeah,
that was your last question.
Is this game published by 2K?
It is not published by 2K.
Oh my god. I feel like we need to nail down the genre, otherwise, because this is not played in the first person. Is this an open world, like adventure or RPG game?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's open world RPG game. You play as a human, or adventure game. Play as a human. You shoot things. Not platform exclusive.
Is this? Is there monsters in this game?
Fighting? I mean, most things can be considered monsters. I mean, I would. If you want me to answer, I would say yeah. But I mean, you answered it, yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of things that can be monsters. So it's a pretty big term. I don't want to mislead you. I'd say yeah.
Is this game? I want to say the published by.
Talk amongst each other.
All right. What are you gonna ask, Sims? Are you thinking Square Enix?
Thinking Capcom.
Okay, it's open world adventure RPG game. What if you think Capcom? What game do you think it is?
Monster.
Okay, so you shoot things. I mean, that would be cool if you did it as like a.
And it's technically kind of like a games as a service, but it's not.
I don't think it is, but you do play as a human. All right, go on. Ask you. All right, was it published by Capcom?
Yes, it was published.
Oh.
He did this to me. He did it to me. He did it with Avengers, and he got me. He got me by the bollocks. And he ripped them off. I hurt my feelings.
That is solid work. I mean, okay. So it's published by Capcom.
You have 3 more questions.
So this is all you now. You can nail him to the fucking ball. You can nail him to the dartboard with the fucking ball. But
Does this game involve you hunting down gigantic monsters?
Yes.
he fucking loves it. Connor!
It's the game Monster Hunter World.
Yes, you did it with.
Suck it, you motherfucker!
Let's go. Sims, you nailed it, man, with the Capcom question. That was solid.
Developed and published by Capcom. Released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Windows in January.
January,
2018.
yeah.
January 2018.
Such
I'm sorry,
good
the PC
time.
release was August. I forgot the PC release was a little later. But yeah, PS4 and Xbox One. Yeah.
Nice
Capcom.
work, man. That was awesome.
I had such a good
GG's.
time.
I did pick it just because of you. I knew you were going to be here. I picked it for you.
I had such a
I'm
good
glad
time
I got it.
with playing with Natalie and my adopted brother.
Well,
That's
that
short
was the show.
time.
Yeah.
That was the show. Thank you, Rahul / Camille. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, man. It's been
I didn't
fun.
even read that. Natalie's texting me saying Monster Hunter World. I fucking told you. That was me hoping. You took my credit. Just for the record, I never looked at my phone for the whole of that.
Yeah, I would like to thank you for coming on the show. Anytime you want to.
Thank you for having me. A lot of fun.
Twitch again.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I am going to be streaming again soon. It's twitch.tv/Rahulahoop with an underscore on the end because someone stole normal Rahulahoop. I have to have the underscore now. It sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, normally streaming Genshin or Hitman 3. I'm not sure what the next game I'm going to stream is. I am looking to buy a PC so I can stream some Switch games. But other than that, you can also find me on Twitter at Rahulahoop with an underscore.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Sims, you got something to say?
I was gonna say he's welcome anytime. Like he's considered family in this house. Like,
Thanks, man.
So much.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, this has been episode 58. Please like, subscribe. We're on podcast services. 59.
Yeah,
I say 58.
Yeah, like I type the title every week and I still don't know.
Yeah. Me too. 59. Please follow us on podcast services. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, please, if anyone's listening, like Rahul, please, can you just leave us a review on like some?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because it's never.
Let's do it.
We failed to promote it. Like,
please comment on the video. We'll talk to people. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.